Let's wrap this up.
Mr. Big makes his debut back all the way in 1992. Seeing Takuma Sakazaki as a threat to the kingpins of Southtown, under orders, Mr. Big kidnaps his daughter, Yuri Sakazaki, to use as leverage to control Takuma's might for his syndicate. These events lead directly into Art of Fighting, where Ryo Sakazaki and Robert Garcia tear up Southtown to look for their kidnapped loved one. Ultimately, they reach Mr. Big. Ryo then destroys him in combat before moving on not only to rescue his sister Yuri, but revealing the defeated Mr. Karate as his own father. A year later, during the events of Art of Fighting 2, the King of Fighters tournament is held by Southtown's young crime lord, Geese Howard. Mr. Big enters that tournament with the hopes of winning and taking back Southtown as his own. However, he is bested once again by Ryo in the tournament finals. And that's really it for Mr. Big in the canonical sense. We only see him playable in a small amount of games where he plays a minor role, if any, in the game's plot. For instance, in the King of Fighters 1996, he joins with Geese and Krauser forming the boss team, only to be betrayed by Geese in their ending. Mr. Big then vows his revenge that seemingly never really comes. He's playable once again in the King of Fighters 1998 Unlimited match, this time with an updated moveset, and he's an overall fun character to play. But his most notorious game appearance is that of Neo Geo Battle Coliseum, a 2v2 fighting game that pits many of SNK's legacy characters against each other. Mr. Big is considered a top tier in this game alongside Hotaru, who he'll be joining with in City of the Wolves. And speaking of City of the Wolves, we come to the current day Fatal Fury, where we've seen Mr. Big in various arcade endings and EOST cutscenes. But now we'll finally get to know exactly why Mr. Big has returned after all this time to Southtown, and what's his exact relationship with Rock's mother, as he has her kidnapped but eventually lets her go in Rock's ending. But before his lore, let's get into his moves. Alright, so getting into Mr. Big's normals, we'll check out the light normals first. This is standing jab. This is his standing light kick. This is his standing heavy punch. Now his standing heavy punch is actually a target combo now. If you do the first hit but press heavy punch again, you get that, which is awesome. We'll talk more about that later, but those are both special cancelable. And this is his far heavy kick. We'll get into the close normals, of course, but back to the lights. This is crouch. That's crouch and light punch. This is crouch and light kick. Now the fun thing about his crouch and light punch, or just his light punches in general, Mr. Big, since he has the two tonfas, not tonfas, sorry, the two batons, if you will, if you do like crouch and light punch twice, it's a different animation, but it's the same exact normal. So I like the attention to detail in that. It's really cool. So he instead of swinging the same fist twice, he doubles up like that. So great little attention to detail. But yeah, his standing light kick is going to be the one that you're going to want to combo into the most off of lights, getting 3 hits, which is crouch and light kick, crouch light punch, standing light kick, and into the cross diving move that we're getting to. We have his heavy normals. That's close C or heavy punch. This is close D. His close heavy kick, very similar to Joe's. He's able to link into jab. There it is. So you can do jab and then you can go into another special move. So that's going to be a great one at catching people mashing. Obviously it's plus, I think on block, what was that? +5, yeah, +5 on block and on hit. So that's huge right there. Actually it's plus more on hit, but on block, yeah. +5 is huge. It leads into other things for Mr. Big. Check out his jumping normal. So this is where it gets a little tricky. Most characters, their jumping cross up is their jumping light kick. For Mr. Big, it's his jumping light punch, which is this right here. This normal. It's kind of wonky to hit, but there it is. Here's the cross up hitbox. So that's the jumping light punch. This is a jumping light kick. So his jumping heavy punch is similar to old games where it's a double hitting heavy punch. Obviously the spacing of it is going to be a little tricky. There it is. And then jumping heavy kick, angled real low down. Definitely going to be probably your better jumping normal for him. You got to hit it a little deeper than the jumping heavy punch. Jumping heavy punch, once you get that timing down on the double hits, I'm pretty sure that might be the go-to, obviously, because you'll have more room to connect. But the heavy kick, you have to be a little deeper down. So next we'll go to his command normal. This one is titled Prick Stick. It's the command normal he's had in older games. It's forward and A, and it's an overhead. And basically, if you're close enough, you can link it to crouch jab. So you can link it to crouch jab and go into what you want. On counter hit, you can get heavy normal off of that as well. So similar to his close D. If you can counter hit on close D, you can go into far heavy kick. which is special cancelable for Mr. Big. You can see the spacing you want to play as Mr. Big. You want to be in this range at all times. That's his crouch heavy punch. You see that goes really far. Special cancel it as well. It's a good whiff punish tool. And then his crouch and sweep doesn't have the most range on it, but it's fast enough there. 9-framer, and it's a sweep, so you can go, you know, get what you desire off of that. But yeah, overhead, link. First special move, let's go into the cross diving. Cross diving, one of Mr. Big's iconic attacks. He's had it in all the other games previously, and as he takes his lunge right here and just goes forward with the 2 tonfas. Now, I keep saying tonfas, the 2 batons. The issue with this move is it is really minus on block. It is heavily committable, and it's tough to combo. See, it's minus 14. That's the light kick variant. The heavy kick version is also minus 14. So yeah, it's heavy committable, but it's a great combo ender off of his standing light kick, which you're gonna get a lot. So you're gonna get that there. And one of the best usage of this move is that it clears low fireballs. So right over. If you have an opponent that likes to spam fireballs from that far out range and you want to bait it, you can just punish it instantly. Look how much ground that covers, right? Like, yes, it is heavy committable, but it covers so much. It closes the distance from Mr. Big. And another good thing about this is one of Mr. Big's breakable attacks. So you can easily cut short, you know? If you use it a lot and you get your opponent worried, you can do that. Maybe get them to jump, go for high evade, or you can go for an uppercut. Next up for Mr. Big is the crazy drum. Now, this move is another move that he's had previously where he starts playing the drums on you, literally. This one is interesting. It's kind of a harder move to use in this game, or at least I haven't found much time to like really implement it. But the light kick version does pretty decent damage. It's hard to combo because of the startup, but what I like to do is use it after his other special moves. So we're gonna break a little bit of tradition here. We're gonna go show you his uppercut really quickly. But if you do DP break, you can get that into another DP. So I look at Crazy Drum as being more of a combo extender. The heavy one has quite a bit more startup, but as you can see, it pops them high. So if you combo off close heavy punch, you get that, and then you can probably get a cross diving off of it. Yep, messed it up there, but basically, you get the point. The EX variant is gonna be the same. It's just more combo fodder right there. So it's gonna keep your combos going, get your juggles in the sky. As you see, it moves Mr. Big closer and closer to you, so probably makes corner combos really, you know, just real easy to get in there. But see the startup on that one. Yeah, see? And then you get that ending. Next up is the drum shot. So this is Mr. Big's command grab. Another move that he's had for a very long time. I want to say post Art of Fighting 2. And in Fatal Fury, you can't combo command grabs. In KOF, you could, but in this game, you can't. It's just a standard command grab, so it's going to work like this. It is a 6-2-3 input, as you can see right there. Not bad. It's always good to have a nice little command grab. You can get some decent set play, too, off it with the blaster, which another move we'll cover later on. You see that was like +6, but here's the EX variant. And yes, you can combo off the EX variant, just like other command grabs in this game. So another facet for Mr. Big, if your opponent wants to block everything, you know, maybe go for a fake. There it is. Fake fireball, and you sneak in that command grab. All right, we got the ground blaster. This is the fireball of Mr. Big, possibly his most iconic attack. One he's had for some time, and as you can see, this is the light punch variant. It's a nice little ground wave that comes up, and the heavy punch one goes further. So the further you are, it doesn't knock them down. But the cool thing is, if you do it from a combo spacing or point blank, it pops them high. For the heavy punch one in particular, in the corner, you're able to get a nice little juggle. Off of command grab, you can get a heavy one. Yep, and it's meaty, and look at that, that leaves you at +6. So there's definitely going to be some shenanigans with that. And I can't forget the EX version of that fireball is a full screen wave and also a throwback. There it is, blaster. You know, Art of Fighting fans are going to remember that's exactly how his normal fireball looked in the original Art of Fighting game. So good that they referenced that, they kept it in. And this one you can use, obviously, in a fireball war. And last but not least, with the ground blaster, it's also his fake move, right? Or his feint. So like you saw me do earlier, you can get people into thinking you're gonna throw a fireball, and maybe you do it at that point. California Romance. That's not the lyrics, but we're gonna make it up right now. California Romance, the name of Mr. Big's uppercut. So this uppercut is quite an interesting one in this game. Follows the law. Obviously, the light punch variant is the one you want to use for invincibility, right? On wake up, You see he covers the distance, he runs up for a bit and he uppercuts. And then the heavy punch version has a longer dash period, quite a few hits. As you can see too, there's about 3 hits going up in there. But what makes this interesting is that obviously it's breakable, right? Like most uppercuts in the game. But with this move, you can break it at multiple points within the moves. For instance, most breakable DPs, you have to do it immediately on the first frame because they'll go high, right? With Mr. Big, he gets, you see a 3-hitter right there with a heavy DP. But if I could do it off just the 2 hits, and that's it, right? But the other point I'm talking about is you can cancel it early on, and it just becomes a dash. There it is. So before he even takes flight, you can break that. So there's a future where if your timing is good, you use that as like almost another mix-up, right? A dash in. I'm sure there's going to be, you know, players that's going to look for it, but obviously it's another tool for Mr. Big, right, that you can utilize. And his DP, I forgot to mention here, but it does leave him at -5. So the heavy DP, while it is virtually safe, any characters with 4-frame normals, like the Tomorrows, the Hotaros, they're going to be able to jab punish that DP. So you definitely want to be careful with the placement of that DP. But again, it just gives you another nice little variety of an attack. And yep. It's a simple combo right there off the DP. Unfortunately, he is not blessed where he can combo, you know, from light normals into uppercut, into heavy uppercut. He's not one of those type of characters, but again, good tool for Mr. Big, classic attack. And we have his brand new attack here. So the silent parry. He has 2 variants, the alpha and the beta, and then of course the EX versions, you get Charlie and Delta. And what this is for Mr. Big, it's a counter attack. Very similar to that of Bijane, where she has this counter move, and if you press the light punch variant and you press any follow-up after, it doesn't matter if it's light punch or heavy punch, you get this high to medium version. And if you do it with heavy punch, see he parries low. So when you press a follow-up after that, he hits them low. Now the thing is, these are parries with manual follow-ups, but if the opponent hits you, it'll do it for you. So that's the good thing. It's going to come out regardless. So it's going to be great, obviously, at dealing with rev blows, right? If you can do a few normals and then you do the parry, the counter, if you want to call it that. It's very similar to Bijane, a new tool for him. And then the EX variant is, now this one is depending on the button you press. If you press light punch, you get that version of it, which unfortunately I think it's slow normally to combo, but the counter hit version does give you the let me see if I can get it here. The counter hit does give you a link. There it is. See, that's the counter hit right there, as I was showing you. And obviously the low version, yep. Oh, that's off counter hit, obviously. But the low version does work as well if you press the heavy punch after you EX it. So this one you don't have to commit as much. It's just once you initiate the EX, you press heavy punch for the low, light punch for the high. But if you're doing it normally, whatever button you start with is the one it goes to. So again, another new move actually for Mr. Big, which is good, and one that's gonna help you know, stress out that that repertoire of his. And that's it for Mr. Big's special moves. You do have his rev blows we'll go into. So this one, he takes a step forward and he smacks you. Not bad, not bad. And this air rev blow is just another cross diving, but this time from the air. You see, he takes that slight hesitation before coming down. And I believe you can, nope, that doesn't put you in the air, but you can do it after a DP, after an EX DP it is. Gives you to ground it, and then there it is. So yeah, you get that combo for Mr. Big there. Run-of-the-mill rev blows. I don't think they're too special just yet, but we'll have to see in a match. First super for Mr. Big is the blaster. I forget the exact name of it. We'll pull it up here. Blaster Wave. But yeah, this is I mean, he's had this super since the dawn of time. And this is going to be a go-to super for reversals, for combos, obviously. Pretty much, I think in general, this is the only super to use, and we'll cover why once we get to the next super. But here's the red line version. This goes a little further out. But yeah, Mr. Big's big old Blaster Wave. Classic. And his second super is the Rising Spear. Now, Rising Spear is actually a command grab. that can't be comboed into. So like I've mentioned before, the Blasto Wave Super is going to be the one you're primarily using for reversals, for combos, for anything of that factor. But when you're close up, you get a nice little command grab super. There's the old... Unfortunately, he doesn't do the Viva anymore. He doesn't do it. Mr. Big's a little older. Y'all can see the snow on his face right there. And here is the red line version of that super. That just hurt. I know that hurts, man. You're just getting poked and prodded constantly by these drums. So yeah, good. Another option, like I said, for Mr. Big if things get hairy for you, pun intended, because he's bald. You know what I mean? You can get in there. All right, and with Mr. Big supers out of the way, the last move, the Lethal Dose Blues, the SPG for him. It's a straight gut kick. Doesn't have much range on it, but obviously let's see what the animation looks like. This is so dope. Just on your neck, straight up, just like old school kind of murder, and then he just leaves. Like round endings with this is gonna be so cool because like there's no way anyone should get up after that. But that covers it for Mr. Big. Mr. Big, I think, is going to be an interesting character in terms of how people are going to figure out how to play him. He feels so different from the other DLC characters, right? A lot of them, most of them were Shotos, if you want to be real, right? Andy, Ken, and Joe. Chun-Li came out and she felt really different, but Mr. Big, I mean, he's playing kind of a real old classic game. You can see the slower walk, but he's obviously got these big range normals, so you're going to want to use that, which has always been his kind of game plan in older games. Is using your best normals for spacing. You want to use your cross dive to punish bad spacing, maybe some fireballs that are on the ground. You can anti-air with it with some jump ins. When you get them blocking, you got the command grab, and you can always initiate the block by mixing in these right here. See, the further you are, you see how plus that is? +8, +8, +2, plus this. And this recovers surprisingly fast. It does have startup on it, but it recovers surprisingly fast. So you're going to want to play that game. There's that right there, the double heavy punch. Yeah, I think Mr. Big's gonna be a fun one to play. Can't wait to see when the general public gets their hands on Mr. Biggs. But once again, shout outs to SNK for this early Christmas present, letting us get early access to Mr. Big to test them out for you guys and give a brief little history on the character. So let me know in the comment section below if you're looking forward to Mr. Big from a gameplay perspective, from a lore perspective, right? He comes in and he's going to tie up some loose ends. If you're a fan of Art of Fighting and you're just happy to see some more Art of Fighting representation in the Fatal Fury franchise, please let me know about all of it in the comments below. When Mr. Big drops, I'll see y'all on December 9th. And for now on, take care, and I'll see you in the future.
That's all for now, fighters. But if you've enjoyed what you've seen, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, don't forget to follow Rome's social media pages down below. Take care, see you next time, and most importantly, thank you for watching.